Okay, who picked T? Sarah picked D. There were a couple others in here. I don't know. Sarah, you might have been a, oh, no, the Matt. Matt picked D too. Okay. So this is one of my personal favorites. It's really having the kids collaboratively construct original solutions and seeing the joy and the excitement they have of coming up with their own ideas. And you can see here some of it is building a prototype. The girls on the left are creating a performance. I mean, it's really about them coming together and putting their ideas together here. And what I want to share with you is that we think it's important not only that children create their work together, but that they assess their work together. So this is a rubric, and we haven't yet talked about some of the sketching prizes. You all are sketching, right? Remember we said in the beginning you needed to sketch? What's STEAM look like in your organization? So be sketching because there are prizes. And so I just want to point out that this rubric is in the prize books. So you can either take a picture of it, watch the recording, or maybe you'll win the book with the rubric in it. But my point here is that it's not just the role of the adult to do the assessment, that kids are incredibly skilled at assessing their work. And what's important here is collaboration right in the middle. Assess, how did our team collaborate? Were we really inclusive of others' ideas and building consensus and sharing our responses with each other, right? Because in Respond, it's so important to be able to critique respectfully and share a different point of view. So this is a visual rubric that very young children can use and become quite good at assessing all aspects of their project. And who picked E? I know we saw some E's. Harlan, Lisa, Michael, right. So engaging students with their sense of agency about their learning. And one of the tools, this also is in a page from the books that some people are going to win. This is about giving kids a voice and really asking them, right? I don't know if you can see the questions here without a squint and a close-up, but what do students feel motivates them to learn something new and complex? And how do students think about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, right? Things that are like internal, they do it because they really love it versus they do it because they're going to get some others, a grade, or because somebody told them to, right? And so this talks here about kids designing games that they can learn from and learn from their mistakes. And that's a little bit of a heads up to what some people are going to win for their sketches today. So glad we talked about the sketch, right? You are sketching what STEAM looks like in your organization. Now, we strongly believe that everyone is an artist. And when I say you can win prizes, it is not about the art, right? It's not about, like, nobody has to be Picasso. We're not judging your artwork. Really, this is an example of everyone can win. So we have 3 STEAM design game guides. They're to facilitate student-led games, original games around STEAM, and it's 3 different age groups, youngins K1, grades 2, 3, and grades 4, 5. But frankly, grades 4, 5, the topics are so rich they could go up to college. It's biomimicry, so cool, like grown-ups are studying biomimicry, right? So don't feel like middle school or high school is left out. Now, all you have to do to get these, I said everyone can win, is do your sketch of what STEAM looks like to you and your organization. Follow us on Twitter. Post your sketch on Twitter and tag us. Everybody who does that, everybody is going to get these 3 books. Okay, we'll reach out to you to get your mailing address so we can they will come U.S. Postal Mail. But we know that
was everybody that does it, not a couple. Everybody
that does it, right? And like I said, we honor all artwork. This is not about being Picasso. This is make your thinking visible. We want to see what you think. Okay. Now, we have heard that not everybody belongs to Twitter. I don't know. if you haven't tried it, this might be the reason to try. Sometimes we get people, who just start because of these chances to win. But because not everyone belongs to Twitter, we also will give away, you just check here. I took a picture of the winners. Okay, so 2 people who are with us in this live presentation are also going to win. And I'll tell you, Roger is so organized, so organized. He sent us a list of the people who registered, and we put it through a randomizer. So if Lisa Geer, Geger, is here, Lisa, you won. Is Lisa here? You have to be here to win. Yes, she is, because she picked E. Yay.
Yay, thank you.
Yes. So later after the session, we'll get connected so that you can give us your shipping address. And then Erica B. Is Erica B here? Unmute your mic, Erica. I don't know. I didn't see. Did I see votes from Erica on the? No. Okay. Going once, going twice. If next, I'm going to go next to the next person on the list because the rule was you had to be with us live. Okay, Sarah Rye Bliss. Sarah? No. Okay, Ed Reggie, R-E-G-G-I. No. Deborah, B-A-H-R. No? Okay. Well, that's as far down the list as we got.
It'll be good.
So,
We're fine.
We're good. We're good. Okay. But the rest of you can win. You just follow us. It's at Crayola EDU, and then post your sketch and tag us when you post it, and we'll get it to you. So while you're sketching, I just wanted to also introduce a piece I added in here. Once Roger explained to me what your various organizations do, I said, oh, we have a presentation that we did for museums. Let me throw this in here because I think it's really relevant for you guys. So we did some work around STEAM virtual field trips and community experiences, super relevant right now with the pandemic, right? So it's just suggesting that STEAM creates really wonderful opportunities for partnerships between arts organizations and schools. And you can see here, the list of benefits on both sides, right? So if museums and organizations are having a hard time getting foot traffic in the building, what's a better way to build loyalty with future visitors, be super relevant to parents and educators, reaching out to school districts and doing some joint programming together, right? And it's a great opportunity where everybody's, sort of, stuck with their computers in their home offices to be forging these strong relationships between community partners and district leaders. And it helps to immerse your museum staff in what the education issues and topics are. It's great training on both sides, right? And so you're able to infuse there are elements of your collection and your artifacts that are super relevant to the STEAM topics that the schools are teaching. So I just think it's a great time to pull that together. And to help you with that, we have an article that we published in Principal Magazine about seeking real-world connections between schools and museums and cultural institutions. And I can send that PDF. Let's see, what's probably the best way? I can get that to you, Roger, and you get that out to everybody? Okay, so I'll make a note to get that PDF to you. And it gives some real great case studies. And within the article, we introduce one of our tools. You'll see how we played up Seek here. We have a tool called Seek, which is a way of reading art for insights. And it's a great way for museums and schools to partner. So just want to remind you of how you can get these books, right? So follow us on Twitter, sketch your post. But before, let's see, I wonder, can everybody hold? We can do the gallery view. Can everyone hold what they're drawing up to the screen? See, Phyllis is holding it up. Michael. Oh, look at Michelle Ryden. Hey, Michelle, I was talking to your friend James this morning. He said that you were telling him about this. Look at Harlan's. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. Good, Matt. Oh, I love that. Like a Venn diagram. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful work. So you know how to post it. These books are coming your way. They'll probably arrive to you in early January. So, and we'll find out what address you'd like them sent to, right? And then, okay, the winners I just revealed. The other thing I wanted to share with you is, I don't know how many of you are signed up to get our e-newsletter. Every month we do a free webinar. We just did one on connecting the dots, right? With Peter Reynolds, the author, illustrator of The Dot, a very popular children's book. And 4,000 educators signed up for that webinar, right? So it's good for you to join this community. And I was before our session, I was telling Roger, I'm really excited about our January webinar. We have as our panelists, the director of the Foundation for Art and Preservation in Embassies, and 2 of their artists. So, you know, Joel Shapiro, his art is in many museums across the country. Joel is joining us. And Odile Donald Adida, whose art is at the UN, and he was born in Nigeria and is talking about his art that is now in embassies around the world, and an expert on global education. So it's about creativity connects the world. We're super excited. Then February, we're talking about how to explain vaccines and pandemics to children. And we've got experts on health in February. So take a picture of this slide. So you've got the QR code, the URL. Please come to the site and sign up for our newsletter so you can join us on a free monthly webinar. And a little hint, we give away a free sketching prize in every webinar. So not always the book, sometimes cute little fun things, right? But definitely want you to be joining us. So let's see. We like to end all of our presentations with some reflection points. The research shows that when you pause for a moment at the end of a session and you reflect on what you learned and make some notes to self about what you're going to do next steps, you're more likely to do them. So we just ask, how can your organization explain STEAM and STEM to parents, policymakers, and other non-educators? And what foundational aspects of STEAM are best suited for your organization's mission and outreach? Because we are just really excited to be part of this with you. Are there any questions? You can unmute your mic or pop something in the screen. Oh, Adili Donald Adida did the artwork for the sculpture park. Stacy, thank you. Yeah, then you are definitely going to want to join our webinar. He is the most gracious, brilliant, poetic speaker. I am so excited to be interviewing him as a panelist in our webinar. So yeah, that is really cool that you have a piece of his art.
Everybody, we've got 3 or 4 minutes left, and this is really wide open. Open up your mics or turn your cameras on, and this is your chance to ask some questions.
Yes, Stacy, you're going to get all the information about the webinar when you go to that page and sign up. You'll get information about this webinar and all of them, right? You'll get registration links. And I think Roger's going to be in touch with Kaylee, so he'll actually be sending out the information about the January one.
Yes,
soon.
I'll be happy to do that.
Some other questions?
Anybody?
I would like to introduce myself. I'm not sure. This is the first time I've been with you all. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is David Rodriguez. So the reason when I saw this information, I said, wow, this would be something to interest, since I just relocated from Chicago and I was teaching at the School of the Art Institute as a supervisor for apprentice teachers for at the grad level, and going through all these different stages. And some of the information, also participant of the NEA, and I've spoken there a couple of times, within our department of dealing with foundations, and going through presentations. But a lot of your information that you were sharing, I said, was quite interesting with the fundamentals, and how they also relate, because I was very much, pushing the principle and elements of designs of how they all tie in with all subject matters.
Yes.
There's not one subject, as one says, well, this is not an important class compared to my math or this. I said, excuse me. I said, you can fail this class. If you fail that one, you can fail this one. That's easy, because we communicate all across the board exact, and whatever you're learning is the same process of what's the learning methodology that is in this particular class. But many of your information, so I'm just finding it very interesting and very new to you. So when I saw this, I said, oh, here's my chance to get to introduce myself and meet some of these people. Although I entered and joined you all late because I had a meeting and I have to run off too for an appointment. So the thing, but I want to thank you right now and what you've been sharing. Especially, I was dealing with more with high school students and college level compared to the elementary, but I had many of my students with both at the elementary level and also special ed, which was very important too, because that was a special case that some of my students wanted to become special ed students. And I said, this is a real great challenge, because there's numerous ways you could do and introduce things to children. But I agree very much about the tying in of not just only the director introducing or lecture, whatever, but you need to have both sides working together. That's how one to learn. And then they also learn from each other too in helping. That's was always one thing too that I always found too very interesting, where some students will say, no, I'm not going to help that student right there because I did it myself. Why do I have to help him? I said, what, excuse me? I said, you can be a teacher too and help and guide. So look at it that way. Oh, okay. So, be some other methods too. But I want to thank you. It was nice talking to both of you.
Thank you.
Cheri, we have a couple other questions, and I'll forward them to you in an email. And I'm going to ask you to give back the control of the screen.
Sure. I just do want to point out before we leave this slide, I'd love to stay in touch with everyone. Please follow me at Twitter. I'd love to continue the conversation. This is just the beginning.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you so much for everything you did today, Cheri. It was absolutely awesome. We feel so blessed to have you spend some time with us.
Okay, I'm going to switch the stop share now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Phyllis, hang on. Phyllis, go.
Sorry, now I'm unmuted. Hi, Cheri, what a great presentation. Thank you so much for being with us today and for sharing your expertise and your knowledge. For those who haven't had a chance to meet me, my name is Phyllis Paisley, and I'm the Executive Director for the Missouri Alliance for Arts Education. And your last slide, Cheri, that said, what will your organization be doing to promote STEAM? We are behind the arts in all ways that they come. And the integration of arts into science and technology and engineering and mathematics, it's not a new concept, but we are still learning the best ways to approach all kinds of stakeholders in that. So I found so much very rewarding today. I wanted to just share, I added to the chat a link to the December updates. Whenever we have one of these gatherings, I like to connect with people I haven't had a chance to meet before. And so almost everything I'll say is already on that paper, and there's links to all kinds of, oh, thank you, Roger, this is great. So all kinds of links to my email address and initiatives that we have going on right now. But there's just one in particular, since we're really close on time, I want to bring to your awareness. That's your screen, isn't it, Roger?
Yeah, sorry, I jumped on top of yours.
Yeah, that's fine, no problem. Is that we are beginning a professional learning network called the Fine Arts Missouri Educators. And I'm directing this to those educational colleagues in the call today and those nonprofits. We are hoping to just help you make connections with educators in a variety of ways, very similar to what Cheri was talking about earlier, to deepen those relationships. So if you have any questions or you can imagine that you might like to be a presenter, our first one's coming up in January and we're welcoming Jazz St. Louis. And then in February, I noticed Allison was on the call earlier. Well, we are welcoming Opera Theater of St. Louis, and we're looking for presenters for March and onward. And so please reach out to me if you think you might like to be connected to some Fine Arts Missouri educators, and the rest of read the rest of the email, connect with us too, and we'd love to be a part of your lives. That's it,
Thank you,
Roger.
Cheri.
Back to you.
Good.
Thank
Couple of
you.
reminders before we leave today is that we will send you an email about the January meeting and how to register. And you'll also receive from me a very short 3-question survey requesting your feedback about today and also future topics. I want to remind you, here's the next few dates that are coming up, and we'll see you on January the 19th. Everybody, have a great holidays, and thank you so much for being here today. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Ciao.
you.
Ciao, ciao.